We are live. Good afternoon, ladies.
Hello. From me and Rocky.
Surprise.
Little surprise live.
You weren't expecting us to be live again in this group.
Just a little. Oh, do you know what? I suppose it's not. I had intended to go in live earlier this week, but if you've been following any of my stories, you've probably been seeing that I've been given a whole load of lesson in everything that we were teaching you about last week. It was like definitely the universe said, here's a whole load of crap that you're going to have to hold. And I've been looking after my victim and my little woman all weekend. Oh, that's nice, Rocky. Anyway, I think everyone's turning the corner in our household, but I don't think I'm alone. I think there are a lot of you women out there. I know I've had quite a few messages, thank you, from some of you saying you've all got poorly children or poorly husbands or poorly households. There's so much of it going around. And I think this just goes to show this is what we deal with. You know, the week before last, poor Em was dealing with a poorly Darcy. It's just like,
it's funny how it always happens, doesn't it? Around like when we are like the week that we were delivering Womankind and we were talking about this exact thing, the lead up, I had this massive shit show. And then the minute we finished Womankind, Ali had this massive shit show. And it was almost like someone saying to us,
prove it.
Yeah, all the lessons, all the things that you've just shared, here's your chance to try it on.
And embody what you're teaching. I suppose that's a great lesson. Oh, so we are here. There's a reason for why we're here. And obviously Womankind was, for us, we loved leading it. And we've been so grateful for all your wonderful comments, both on the feed, both privately, both publicly. Thank you so much for that. It's such an important conversation for both Em and I, and one that we're going to continue having and one continue embodying and continuing talking about. I'm also loving hearing everyone. We're getting little messages in our masterminds and on our Voxer chats of people saying, oh, my little victim's doing this, and now I really understanding these personas is really helping me manage and lead my way through this. The concept of the boardroom has been life-changing for some of you, just to know that, yes, everyone has a seat at this table. It's not about pushing them away, locking them away. They just get loud. It's about saying, let's bring everybody in and let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion to this, and then let's move this forward. What's the solution? It's like in marriage. Bring everything to the table, and rather than blaming, shaming, let's just talk about it and let's find a solution.
Yeah, I think it's amazing when we can hear some of these terms and concepts being spoken about openly now. And I think that was like super important for us, the fact that you've embraced those concepts and you now feel comfortable having those kinds of discussions, because I think this is where the change happens, is when we get comfortable having these conversations and sticking our hand up and saying, my bad, that was my little woman. But having the conversations in a place where people, they get it. And I don't know about you, but I think certainly something that Ali and I have really experienced throughout our entrepreneurial journeys, individually and together, is that sometimes the people in your world, the people that you're closest to, they don't always get it. And that can be one of the hardest things, because we want the people closest to us to really understand what it is that we're experiencing and going through as women, as, you know, all of the different hats that we wear while trying to grow and run a business. And sometimes it can feel quite lonely to not have that person who is going through the same thing as you are. And I think that was really where we started thinking about this whole, you know, concept of Womankind and what we wanted to create off the back of this that felt really important to us, because we have been incredibly fortunate that we are a partnership. We have each other for that. So we are able to come to the table and have the conversations that are hard around the dinner table. My cat is jumping in and out of boxes next to me. I'm not sure what she's doing. Sorry. She doesn't get it either. But I think that was really where we started, wasn't it? Was thinking about how can we create these spaces where women are comfortable to have these conversations. Like, And if you've listened to all of the Womankind series, perhaps you're only on the first part, but as you go through, you will hear that we actually introduced a new venture that we have launched for December, which is called the Sisterhood. We're incredibly proud about this. We truly are, because we feel like this is almost the missing conversations and the missing links for women in business today. And we really wanted to create something that would bring women together in a place where they can feel supported, they can collaborate, they can come together and learn together. And in fact, our tagline for the Sisterhood, we love a good tagline, don't we? I've got to make sure I get
your
this
creations
right.
Then.
is dream together, grow together, belong together. Okay, and that's what we felt like we wanted to create from the Sisterhood, was this place. So what we'd love to do today is just talk to you a little bit about what those three things actually mean to us, and how that's going to translate within the Sisterhood, and whether that's something that you feel that you would love to be a part of as well. Do you want to kick off with dreaming?
Yeah, I'd love to kick off with dreaming, given that that's kind of like the energetics. It's the essence, the energetics of what's going to be happening and how you're going to feel within inside the Sisterhood. So to me, and something I explained to Em, is I didn't really know how to dream. And I think so many women, and I remember previous clients coming to us and saying, oh, I've shut myself off from wanting more, from desiring more, or I don't even know what I want next. And I think that maybe have come from conditioning, because it's been conditioned to not want anymore, to really suppress our dreams and suppress our desires. And it was actually with working with Em as my coach, it was like she opened up and said, well, what do you want next? Where do you want to go? What's your big vision? What's your big dream? And I was like, I don't know. I've been so close to just like being so focused here in the now. So it was being able to allow myself to dream again and put myself in places where other people were living, a life that I was like, I didn't know that I even wanted. I was like, oh, so having those conversations around other women and creating a space where it's safe to say that you desire something and speak it out loud without everybody else around you going, well, don't be so silly, that's never going to happen, or aren't you happy with what you've got? Almost like really squashing anything that you've ever wanted. So it's about allowing yourself to come into these conversations in the space, in the Sisterhood, and say, do you know what? I would really, really, really love to go to Bali, and I'd love to live there for 6 months. And say it and own it and be able to speak it out loud without anyone going, no, you don't. Well, how are you to do this? And when would you do it? And think about all the reasons.
That's not realistic.
That's not realistic.
It's not very
you
practical.
Can't just give up your job or stop looking after your kids and disappear to Bali. But then do you know what? Somebody like me might see that and go, oh my God, I didn't know I wanted to go to Bali for 6 months. I'm going to put that out on my vision board and I'm going to make that happen. And if it's not for 6 months, at least I could go for, 6 weeks. So it's coming to that space where we have a safe space to declare and own our dreams, but also ignite the dreams in others and know that they didn't know that they had it. And for 70% of the population, we're generators. I'm a generator. So it is our human design to respond. We might not know the big vision that Em can see as a projector, and she can paint it for us. But for me as a generator, it's coming in and going, oh, I didn't know I wanted that. Yes, I do want that. Yes, that's a hell yes for me. Or it's a, no, do I want to fly on a private jet? Not that bothered, actually.
I remember this when we had our early conversations, actually, because you were very much like, well, what can I have? Like, what's realistic for me? I was like, I don't give a shit about what's realistic. Let's talk about what you really desire. Like, do you want this? Do you want this?
Wildest dreams.
Oh yeah, can I have it? Yes, you can have it. And I think sometimes being in spaces with other women who are not only dreaming big, but actually their evidence of the dream being possible is incredibly important, because it is so true that we almost are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So you've got to be quite careful which rooms you're putting yourself in and who you're spending your most time with. So being in rooms of people with big dreams that don't shoot your dreams down and say, yeah, right, okay, that's not realistic. But being in a room with somebody that says, that is amazing, you should do that. Here's how you could do it. Here's how you could do it. Here's how you could do that.
Why don't somebody who can help you with that?
Like igniting the fire, but also fueling the fire as well, until that spark of inspiration and idea is not just a spark. It's like, it's something real.
And do you know what I remember about Jolie saying about you and me? He said, you're just two ordinary women with big dreams, but the only difference is that you two are going out to get it and make it happen. And that's another thing that we wanted to bring in as part of the dreaming piece. It's not just the dreaming, it's the actual doing. It's the believing it's going to happen and actually taking action to make it happen, which I suppose then leads us on to the second part of our beautiful tagline that Em created, is the growing together. Em, do you want to talk a bit about the growing together?
Yeah, I think we probably don't need to tell you like how important both your personal growth and your professional and strategic growth is in business. And I think something that we have fully devoted and committed ourselves to ever since day dot of coming into business is this continuous evolution and expansion of who we are and our knowledge and our wisdom. And we want to share that. Like, we've learned so much. I mean, collectively, we have got so much experience now in this industry, and pretty much like all of that experience is now packaged into our programs and services. Like, everything that we learned, everything that helped us to grow, we have taught in some way over the last 12, 18 months. And we wanted to be able to offer that to you, to tap into that wisdom, to tap into that experience, the lessons that we learned the hard way that you don't have to. And I think this is the beauty of mentorship, is it can shave years off your journey if you can tap into the wisdom of others that have gone before you. And we've got the most incredible programs now in every area of growth and development that has been instrumental in our success. And every single one of those programs and those courses is now available as part of the Sisterhood. So you'll get everything. Like, we've never offered anything in our world before where you get access to all of those as part of
the 12-month experience. Yeah.
12-month experience. Yeah. So, and that actually includes anything new that might end up on the shelves in the next 12 months as well, which we don't even know about yet. So we can't tell you about it. But if I know Ali and I, there will be more lessons and more learning to come. So should we talk about a couple of those?
Yeah, I was just going to get the list up, because whether we remember them off the top of our heads, I don't know.
Shall I start with some of the strategy programs?
Should we start with the one that we're going to start with first?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, good shout.
We're going to start with the dreams, because given this is all about dreaming, we're going to start in December when you join the Sisterhood, the first program that you get to take, which is probably one of my favorite, although I say that about all of them, is the Dream Achieve program. But this was really a program I wrote for myself very shortly after I started working with them. He taught me about the powers of dreaming, and I was on a boat it was in the middle of the pandemic, and we'd just been allowed out. And I was sat on a boat, and I was like, right, do you know what? I want to smash the shit out of 2020, and I want to make my dreams become a reality. And I wrote myself a 5-step program to make them become a reality. And then by the following year, Em joined me as we'd started our collaboration, and we re-recorded the basic principles of it, but adding it in with some M magic as well. So it has a duo magic in it. So it just amplified the initial magic, which took me to my first 5 figures, which helped me smash the shit out of my dreams. And then we amplified it together. So this is the Dream, Believe, Achieve program. It's 5 modules. It's absolutely beautiful. It has unleashed dreams in others. The people who have taken this program the first time, they've gone on to change careers, start new businesses. And it all stemmed from this really beautiful program. It's one that we take ourselves through at the beginning of each year or every quarter. It's just wonderful to tap into. And now I'm going to sort my dog out. He keeps throwing himself at the door. Em, back to you.
Okay, so while you're sorting Rocky out, the other program, which is very much a foundational program, that is really the starting point for any woman that comes into our world from a strategic perspective, is our curator and creator program, because this is the brand strategy piece. This is the piece that helps you to build the most sensational, professional, world-class brand, to help you articulate what it is that you do, to get clarity on your mission, your message, your movement, your visual identity, everything that people experience when they have some kind of interaction with your company. So this is the thing that is like, it's the emotional connection that people have with your business. There's like the business and there's the brand. Anyone can have a business. anyone can make a sale in a business, but a brand is what commands loyalty and consistent sales every single day. And that's what we aim to create, is brands that can hold everything that you love to do, all of your multi-passions, all under one roof. So it's a really powerful program. I know there's probably women in this group that have taken that program, who have experienced it, but it really is like the clarity in terms of the direction of your business before you head off on, you know, your social media journey. You're creating your programs and services. It's about getting very, very clear on what is the bigger vision for where we're going, and how can we articulate that to the outside world so that everybody feels that connection with your brand.
Maybe that's my favorite program. I don't know. I think the next program that I think that goes really nicely with Curator and the Creator that you'll get as part of the Sisterhood is the Womanly Leader, because this is all about, you can't build a beautiful, authentic brand if you don't know who you are, where you're going, what your vision is, what you want to create. And that's where the Womanly Leader is such a beautiful complementary program that you can take yourself through, which really helps you get in touch with who you are. And we wrote this program together, and I remember exactly when it was. It was, we were doing our first round of the Well Balanced Business, and I was sat on a very, very hot day doing my homework in terms of what do I want my next program to be. And I wrote the tagline, I want to be a badass boss doing it in a feminine way, in a floaty dress and trainers. And I sent it to Em and I said, this is my next program. She goes, oh, I've got some good ideas about that. And that is what our second program became about. And that's when we decided we wanted to actually, rather than just do programs together, we wanted to run a business together. So the Womanly Leader is really all about getting to know who you are, how to create the life that you want to live. It's all about leadership. It brings in so much around communication, powerful communication, emotional intelligence. It's just an incredible program all about feminine leadership, but doing it in your authentic way. Do you think he's trying to tell me something?
I think he might want you to throw that ball for him. Okay, so our next strategic program that will be included is the Socially Savvy program. It is what it says on the tin, ladies. It's about becoming very socially savvy, like really getting to understand the purpose of the platforms, understanding what to post where, how to create incredible, engaging content and grow your audience, and ultimately how to create content that actually converts to paying clients as well. Social media isn't a business. It is a marketing tool for your business that helps you to generate inquiries and income. And Socially Savvy is all about how we do that. So it's an incredible program. It will add, I think, ultimately, it helps you to really find a way in which you can get behind and love social media, because we know that a lot of women
struggle,
don't like social media, and they have a real hard time knowing like how to navigate it and how to make it work for them. And this program is really going to show you how you can make social media work for you in a way that feels good, that doesn't lead to social media burnout and overwhelm.
You know what,
it's Ali's other favorite program.
It's my other favorite program. I love the branding for it, to be fair. But there was something that just reminded me. At the moment, we're running ABBA Live. So our Aligned Business Architecture Live program, it's our signature 6-month live program, which we take everybody through a lot of the strategic programs. We've just started Socially Savvy with our group. And I wanted to read this out to you because it was one of our ladies you posted in our group. She said, just wanted to say, I've listened to the Socially Savvy modules, really, really helpful to me, going back through and making the notes. Thank you, Ali and Em. It was a missing piece in my jigsaw that was preventing me from opening my business up. So it is an incredibly powerful way that spins a whole new light on how you can use social media. And we loved writing it because it helped us with our social media. So that's Socially Savvy. What shall I talk about next? I think the next energetic program I'm going to talk about is the Limitless Principles. So for those of you who've been around long enough, you will know that we launched the Limitless CEO in August, the very end of August 2021. And the first thing we did was we sat down and we said, okay, so if we're going to be the Limitless CEO, what are the principles that we want to live by as Limitless CEOs? What are the principles that we both live by right now that has got us to this point where we had both grown and built and created multiple 6-figure brands already on our own? What do we want to bring to the table to create the Limitless CEO? And we came up with, can you guess? 9 modules, LIMITLESS, 9 different principles in which we live our life. And it's just the principles behind becoming a limitless CEO. It's a really beautiful program. It's just everything that we live by, everything that we knew and understood at that point in time and continue to live by. Really great program, that one. So that's the Limitless Principles. Next,
Next in that I would love to talk about is Freedom Coach. Love Freedom Coach. I feel like this is like, it's something like everyone has to go back through almost like at the start of every quarter in a way. But no, Freedom Coach is a program that really shows you how to build out a business model that is sustainable and scalable. Okay, so it helps you to very much like reverse engineer your income goals for an entire 12-month period. So it's something that we map out very much at the beginning of the year. And I've been using this process for years, and we introduced it to our business as well. And it's a process by which we get clear on how we are going to grow, how we're going to scale, what new services we're going to bring into our business, how we're going to generate our income streams. It is a program which we will show you how to actually design scalable services that are saleable, that people love to buy, how you can actually brand them, talk about them, create them in a way that makes them attractive to the person that you're looking to attract and work with. But it's more than that. It's more than the individual program, because this is about building not just a program. This is about building, an empire for your business. We haven't got to where we are without scalability, without having multiple services, multiple programs, multiple ways in which people can work with us, multiple income streams, because this is what creates the consistent cash flow and the exponential growth in business. And this is the program that shows you how to do all that from like a bird's eye view, zooming out the big vision for the year, and then zooming back in terms of how do I just break this down into little bite-sized chunks so that I know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, how I'm doing it every single month. I know where my focus is, and I can trust that by doing that I'm engineering the year that I want to have. I want my next 12 months to be my first 6 figures, or my next 6 figures, or my multiple 6-figure year. This is how we engineer it. This is the process by which we do that.
Let's get down to it, Do you know what? This is how we have created the life that has enabled us to hold the bag of shit and the bag of diamonds at the same time. Mm-hmm. The very reason I've been able to look after both my husband and my son and run the coach house is because we've built our business in the Limitless CEO and the way that we have done it, so that we have passive income. We've got recurring income that comes in every single month. And then we have these beautiful influxes of overflow. So that means that we don't have to be panicked about the one thing that we're selling right now. We've been building it for this in this way for a long time and with absolute intention, so that I know that actually, do you know what? When we've had to move a few things around and shuffle a few things around, it didn't mean anything in terms of our bottom line, because we still had things that, you know what, I can put on the shelf, because like we've got them on our back pocket and we can put that on a shelf. We don't have the energy to run something live right now, but you know what, we've got all of these other things that let's pull that and do that instead. So this is the incredible matrix that taught me and taught all of the women on our VIP retreat to create a business that enables you to live the life that you want to. So when Em says you reverse engineer it, you look at it and you say, well, is that the way in which I want to do it to support the life I want to live? So it enables you to have the summer off if you want to, like we did this year. We didn't run live programs over the summer, but we sold programs that we'd already done live. So I just wanted to say that, because I think it's just an incredible program if you want to have this freedom, and that's why it's called Freedom Coach.
Yeah, this is very much a CEO hat on program. This is you in your absolute CEO, strategically, intentionally creating what it is that you want to see 12 months from now.
Yeah. So the next program I want to talk about is Manifest It, because Manifest It is Well, I downloaded it in the freedom that we created over the summer. I sat underneath my magical redwood tree in my garden, and I channeled Manifest It. It's 4 incredible teachings in how I have been able to manifest this beautiful life. It's the culmination of all my reading up on manifestation, but also how I've done it intuitively without even knowing it. And I put it into the most incredible 4-module program, and I've got it all printed out here, and I think it might actually become a book one day because I love it so much. So that's Manifest It. That will come. Manifesting your inner truth. I love it. Manifest it. What's next?
Fabulous. So we can't talk about programs and services without talking about fully booked.
You cannot.
Because ultimately that's what we all want. We want to be fully booked. Well, fully booked to the level that we desire to be fully booked,
yeah.
whatever that looks like for you. But fully booked is our it's a launch and sales program. And before you dive off and get scared about the word sales, this is our version of launching and selling, because we also were highly triggered by sales and didn't like sales very much. We were like, we need to find a way that we can get behind sales, because ultimately, if we want money dropping in every single day, if we want opportunities to work with more people and we want to generate more income and create this incredible life, we're going to have to get behind sales in some way. So this is an introduction to our launch sequence. It's called the ABC launch sequence because it's as easy as it's but it's an incredible it's actually ABCDEF, but it didn't work so well to call it that. So it's a 6-step sequence that we have used over and over again to launch multiple programs and services with incredible success and sell out programs, sometimes in 4 hours, I think was our record. Yeah, but it's a process that we use to get behind that whole sales Rocky, please throw my ball. And, where was I with that? It's very much about how we create a soulful customer journey that's a very customer-led shopping experience. So rather than it be a selling experience from your perspective, it's all about creating the shopping experience from your buyer's perspective. So that's what we do in our business. We create opportunities for people to shop with us, to buy with us in a way that feels good for them and feels good for us. So it's very much a win-win situation. But it is all about how you can get comfortable speaking about your offers, how you can get comfortable, putting yourself out there and asking people for money for your offers. It also covers how you price your offers to sell as well. So your pricing strategy. So basically anything that you need to attract more people, generate more consistent income, it's all tied up in the Fully Booked program. It's a great program. I love it.
It's strategy and energetics of sales to help you find selling in a way that you love. I love it. I used to hate selling. I used to say to Em,
not doing that.
I'm not doing that. But now all you ever see me do is sell. And I'm quite happy talking about the word sell. And if you think that you can't and you never get there, trust me, you will.
Yeah, here's your evidence.
Yeah, only evidence. So here we go. So if we're going to be talking about pricing in Fully Booked, a lot of people have hang-ups around asking for money, something that Em just said. So both Em and I have been on a massive journey of personal growth in the last few years, all about money and getting very deep and dirty with all of our money wounds and our relationship with money. And this is the culmination of everything that we have learned, understood, and embodied: the tools, techniques, the practices, what we do with our crystals, and all of that. And we've put it into one program called the Wealth Magnet, because at the end of this, and if you embody everything in this, you too will become a wealth magnet, because money is something that flows to where it is desired, not where it's needed. So this teaches you about the energetics of money. Again, it's an energetics program, but it's also got loads of practical strategic steps in it so that you can start to open up and receive more on top of more on top of more.
I love that. Oh, okay.
Is that everything?
Oh, one more. There was also, which is a great compliment to the Curator and the Creator program, is a program that I created more recently called Away with Words. And the reason why I felt called to create this program is so many people would come to me and say, you've got an amazing way with words. Can you help me articulate what I want to say here? I'm not very creative. I don't know how to write or to speak things in a way that I feel is resonant with my audience. So this program is really about that, helping you to understand how you can develop your messaging, how you can create, really kind of add potency to your words, be more creative with your messaging, both for your branding and for your social media as well. So it's a really fun program, but it's really helping you to understand that creative process by which we generate content and copy that does create engagement and does create conversion. So it's a really nice little bonus program on top of your Curator and Creator.
Yeah. So that is our full suite of programs that you'll be getting over the course of the 12-month experience in the Sisterhood in terms of growing. And then the last piece is all about being and belonging together. This is something that Em and I feel so passionate about, especially having come out of both of our corporate careers and coming to work on our own, and often speaking to many of our private clients, is that when you start out on your entrepreneurial journey, and even when you're still an established entrepreneur, you can still feel this element of being alone. Even if you're building a team around you, there's no one really to speak to or to brainstorm or to collaborate and have a conversation with that gets you. Em and I were talking about it before. You can sit down and talk to your best friend, or you can talk to your husband, or you can talk to your dad, or whoever you want to talk to, but they might not get it if they haven't ever been an entrepreneur, and especially if they don't know what you know in terms of your zone of genius. So this is another reason we wanted to bring women together, was to create that atmosphere of conversation. And throughout the Sisterhood, we're going to be having monthly conversations. We talk about them being as a round table. So you get to bring whatever's on your mind, whether it's a dream, a desire, a challenge, just the fact that you're lonely or you're stuck, or you want somebody to read your post for you or read your copy. This is what we wanted to do, was to create this virtual world in terms of where you have got a virtual coffee machine and a virtual water cooler. That sounds very American, but there's a virtual place where you can come in and collaborate and talk and have the conversations. And we're doing that in monthly roundtable sessions, but also in this group that initially is going to be on Facebook, but we're looking at other platforms to grow it out at the moment. There's a couple of options, but it's initially going to start on Facebook, where it's going to be a place where you can come in and, well, first of all, it's going to be a place where we can communicate with you and tell you what's going on and tell you all about the special offers that we might have for you, or in-person events that we might want to tell you about, where you're going to be when the round table is, and all of those sorts of wonderful things. But also this place where you can start to pin. It's almost like I see it as a virtual notice board. We've been trying to think about the word of what we see it, but it's very much a kind of like a place where you can put out there what you're doing, what you're up to. So saying, do you know what, I'm doing this event on menopause, or I'm doing an event on female empowerment. Would you like to come? Please tell all your friends, here's the invite. And you can post it on the pin board in the group to invite people and your collaborative sisters to either come or help you share your message.
Yeah, it's inviting that support from your fellow sisters in the way that we've created the support and sisterhood between the two of us. We really wanted to create a space that you could come and tap into that as well and experience that too. And when we went, we were thinking about, what was this space going to be about, and what did we want to include in it? And we went through and everything that we've just talked to you about, and we looked at it and we were like, okay, well, what do we think is the value of all this? Like, what do we value this at? And we actually went through and worked out the actual sales value, as in what all of those programs, what all of that support, etc., what all of the clinics are actually worth in terms of our price points that we currently have in our business. And the whole lot, I think, came in around 14.5 grand.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All the programs together were 9,000, and then the coaching spaces in terms of what we would sell, group coaching spaces was whatever the difference was, but it came up to about 15K, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But we were also like, we want this to be a place that's an absolute no-brainer, that's accessible to anybody to come and be a part of. And there's no way we're going to be charging 14.5 grand for it, even though that might be the shelf value, if you like. And what we actually settled on, which maybe is a little bit crazy, but we were having a crazy moment.
We were feeling abundant.
We were feeling very abundant, yeah. But it was a price tag of £111 per calendar month for the 12-month period. So it's a 12-month commitment at £111 per month, which I think in total is about £1,300. So there's the no-brainer.
An incredible investment to come in and be one of the sisters and to experience that, a space to dream, a space to grow, and a space to belong. And we're just extending this invitation and giving you a few more details than we did in the live Womankind experience. For those of you who are wondering about it, I was meant to create the sales page over the weekend, but unfortunately spent most of it in hospital where I hadn't got my laptop. So we thought, what the hell, we'll come in and do a live. So hopefully you've got all of the information that you need. If there's anything that's missing to make your decision, please do pop into our DMs. Please ask us a question in the group. We'd be more than happy to answer that. We will, do you know what? I'm going to pin, shall I pin the?
Yeah, if you've got the link, I think
there, just to have a pin.
We'll pin the link again. If you're just like, yes, this is a no-brainer. I want this long-term support. I want to be a part of this and know that I've got my 2023 sorted. The link's in the group, so you can just go ahead and click on that, and we'll confirm as soon as we've received that from you. And we actually start on the 1st of December.
Yes, we do.
Very exciting.
It's 11222, which is kind of like a really cool
your number.
Rocky's dropping his balls. There we go. I've put the link in the comments, so you can jump in and grab that at any point in time. And whether you're watching this now and you don't feel like now is the right time for you to jump into the Sisterhood is going to have its doors open, so you can jump in at any point in time and join for a 12-month experience. So you can just jump in at whatever time you want and stay for those 12 months, and you'll just get the programs as and when they come in the order in which they're landing in. So you still get everything.
Amazing.
But we kick off with this.
I think that was it from us. Thank you again for being here in this community. Again, if you know any women who would love to experience the Womankind experience, the replays are still available in this group. Please feel free to invite them, share with your friends and family and all the wonderful women in your world. It would mean the world to us. So we'll catch up with you all soon. Bye.